Hey there, Sam Visnick, and in today's video what we're going to be looking at is Auvon's new product. It is a neck, shoulder, call it massager, but it is a repositioning device for the cervical spine and also adds some traction. So we're going to take a look at it right now. All right, welcome back. And so we have everything unpackaged here. I'm going to show you the device. It looks about like this, kind of a goofy looking device as such. And there are a couple of options on how you use this, and also have a quick discussion here about one of the most important things, which is contraindications. There are certain types of neck problems where you absolutely do not want to use a tool like this, and of course, so you want to make sure that you consult with your physician before doing any kind of self-tractioning device. But in particular, we're concerned about anything that requires any kind of pulling or tractioning on the neck or tipping the head back toward extension. If either of those things are causing you a problem, then definitely speak with your clinician before even attempting to use something like this. So a big question is who's this going to be best for? It oftentimes works best for individuals, in particular if you've ever gone to a massage therapist or any health practitioner and had some gentle pulling or tractioning on your neck. And if that feels dramatically better on your neck issues and tension problems, then this kind of tool can be very, very helpful. The other thing is that if you find that having a roll underneath your neck is very comfortable in the supine position. So when you're laying down, oftentimes this is individuals who have reduced curvature in the neck, but not always. But having a nice bolster there is helpful, and you feel like you need a little bit more, then this kind of tool can be very, very useful. So the way that it's designed, there's two different versions of it. There's a lower intensity and a higher intensity version. So the less intense version is actually sticking the larger side toward you, so that if this is your head and you're laying down on your back, you lay over this thing and your head is cradled just like this. So as the skull is tipping back over this, it's actually being supported by the ledge, so there's not so much pressure, so much pulling or tractioning happening on the neck. So it actually supports the cervical curvature, so it is quite comfortable, and it has a bunch of little ridges in there as well. So they talk about this having a massaging effect, but this is going to depend on the person. There's not a lot of actual movement going on there, so it's more of a static positioning device. As it gets more intense, you actually flip around to the opposite side, and in this way, when the cradle is laid over the top of, the cranium is actually floating, so there's nothing underneath it supporting, so the tractioning is going to be a bit stronger on this. Now, I know that some of you might look at this and say, wow, that ledge looks like it's humongous, but it's really going to depend on the person. For myself, I'm 6'3", so as I lay my head back over this, it's not so intense, especially when I'm using this less intense version, so I almost jump right into this more advanced version. But this thing is a little surprising because it doesn't look like it's a big deal, but always have to caution individuals when using something like this to always start with very small amounts. Our recommendations could be 8 minutes once or twice a day, just laying on the device. It usually feels pretty good, but you need to go slow with something like this. And again, you need to speak with your provider, but I usually only, with my personal clients, test it out for about a minute at a time and slowly graduate the dosage over time. And that could be weeks or even a month or so before even attempting the more aggressive one. And that is because when we're in this position, that slight gentle tractioning or stretch of tissues doesn't seem so dramatic, but the longer you hold that position, you could have definitely some very uncomfortable soreness following its usage, which might make the individual think that it's making their neck worse when in fact they were just being too aggressive with it. So I think these tools are very, very useful. They can be done for just after breaking up periods of tension, work and working out, any of that kind of stuff. It can be done post, but it also can be done at other times out of the day just as a gentle break for the neck to improve blood flow, to break up tension, and so forth. So the unit comes with a nice little manual, and they do have recommendations on how to graduate into it. There's a little log here with it as well, and also some nice little exercise recommendations for the cervical spine. So as usual, Auvon produces pretty good product. I would recommend this one, and it's going to be one that I'm going to be using with my clients on a regular basis. So I'll make sure that I add a link to this below the video so you can check it out. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to enter those below. And of course, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel for additional reviews on these types of helpful products. Thanks for watching.